Hello and welcome to another edition of Paul's Pep Talks. I love putting these little pep talks on YouTube for you to perhaps allow you to improve your day, improve your life, improve somebody else's life. Anyway, the pep talk I'm going to talk about today is my daughter, who's 15 years old, plays competitive fast pitch softball. And she plays on a travel team that, by all intents and purposes, pretty much every girl on that team is going to play college ball somewhere, whether it be Division One, Division Two, NCAA Division One, Division Two, Division Three, NAIA, junior college, community college, whatever. And anyway, my wife and I were not able to attend a PGF qualifier. It's a national qualifier for this huge tournament at the end of the year that everybody wants to go to. I live in Los Angeles, Thousand Oaks, California, and the qualifier was in Las Vegas. Well, due to work and nobody to take care of our pets, we ended up sending our daughter with one of her teammates. Well, anyway, yesterday, their first game, and it's a tournament, and if you lose a game, you go to what's called the consolation bracket, loser's bracket. I don't like to call it loser's bracket, but a consolation bracket. And you play twice as many games to get to the championship to try to qualify. Well, first game yesterday they won. Second game yesterday they won. Third game they won. So they were 3-0 on that day, and we're all pretty much expecting them to win two more today and qualify. Well, they started their first game and they were winning, and they ended up losing by a run. They were up 3-2 and they ended up losing 4-3. So they right away went down to the consolation bracket. Well, the farther you get into this tournament, the more you win. When you do have your first loss, the less games you play in the consolation bracket. Now, if you lose your very first game and you go to the consolation bracket, you're going to be playing every hour on the hour. It's just game after game after game after game after game. It's brutal. And so your chances are better if you keep winning. However, there are a lot of teams that have played their way up through the consolation bracket and actually qualified. Well, they didn't. They lost their first game, so they went to the consolation bracket. And they were keeping us informed. Well, long story short, they won a game, then they lost. And what looked to be, they were going to be an easy qualifier. And the thing of it is both games they were winning that they lost, and both games they lost by one run. And so you could name many reasons why they didn't qualify. Well, pretty much they could look back and say, okay, we didn't make a play here, we didn't make a play there, we didn't get this out we needed here, we didn't throw the strike we needed here, we didn't get this hit that we needed here in order to advance runners and score. Well, anyway, I was talking to my daughter today, and she was telling me how it was going. Now, these are the first games she's played with this team. She just joined this team back in what they call the dark season, when high school ball is going on. They call it dark season, where travel ball is from the state of California you're not able to play. Well, we started talking, and I asked her a question, and when I was texting her, I was like, it was a statement. I said, and typically what you do, we have a 24-hour rule. You don't discuss anything meaningful about the game, or you don't discuss any type of transgressions you may have. You may be pissed off about something. You don't discuss for 24 hours. You let yourself, give it, calm down and let some time pass. And so anyway, I told her, I said, after the 24-hour rule, I'm going to ask you if you can look back and think of anything that you could have done different in terms of maybe some more preparedness in your own time, without softball. Is there anything we can take to the future and say, hey, if I work on this, this, and this in my own time, maybe I can be that difference. Because she's a catcher and she's a leader of the team. And she said, you can ask me now. And I put, LOL, I did, silly. And so I basically came up with this. She could think about maybe something that she could do in the time that she's not with her team, because she has many workouts she can do, many exercises, many mind exercises, many strength, agility, or whatever things that she can do in order to advance her skill in the game. I said, well, we'll try this on for size. Why don't you write down what you could have done different and what you could do in your own time to maybe help you achieve the difference that you want to be, in order to maybe be the difference maker in terms of, instead of losing by one run, winning by one run. And then I said, write down a piece of paper and keep it to yourself. Don't tell anybody. It'll just between you. This will just be between you and yourself. And I said that because a lot of times when we have ideas or thoughts, we take it to other people, and they'll maybe want to influence their thoughts on our thoughts. And for instance, maybe I say, man, if I would have just worked harder on this or worked harder on that, I'd been more prepared to where I could have done this and been the difference maker. And people are, oh no, you did fine, and just be grateful for what you have. And I'm not saying not be grateful for what we have, but in terms of like achieving the success and the results that we really want and think we can do, there's always something we can do. There's always an area we can improve in. I mean, the biggest players in the game out there, in terms of not players, but, the Tony Robbins, the man that is at the top of the pinnacle of where all of us other new thought thinkers and coaches want to be. He's always looking to improve something. So maybe we improve something. And then I came up with an idea. How about this? How about we write down certain scenarios we were at in that game? And you could also talk about the game of softball. She's learning a lot about life. Life is game, game is life. Maybe we could write down that scenario and go back to when we're working off the field. Maybe do something different to where that will translate in a difference that we can make again in that game. And the difference between winning by one or losing by one run or winning by one run. Because again, you can look at 100 different things of why you come out on top or don't come out on top. But how cool would it be? And this, there's a lot of truth to this, to where we can write our own future. Put down that scenario. Say for instance, for her case, she was up and there was a runner on base, and she hit a really nice hard hit. It was going to go up the middle, and the second baseman made a really nice play, and she was out. Maybe we could do something different to where we have a different outcome, okay? But also, too, I'm going to caution her that we don't get wrapped up in the outcome. Let's just focus on what we can control within ourselves. What can we do to better ourselves? Not try to better anybody else. This player didn't do that. This player didn't do that. Just better ourselves. And so as I'm sitting here telling her this, I'm thinking to myself, wow, Paul, wow. There's some really good stuff for you to follow, Paul. If you're going to tell her about this, how much does that bring to the table in terms of, do you have the right to tell her this if you're not practicing this? So I'm going to take my own advice. In fact, I'm going to do a little studying tonight, little thinking, little writing, and I'm going to write down some scenarios that I would like to see change in my life. And I'm going to write down maybe perhaps things that I could do within myself to improve, so that way I can rewrite that outcome, or basically I can form my own story before it starts. So many times we do that. We sit here and think, oh, my luck's so bad, I'm not making that much money, I don't have the job I want, I don't have the career I want, I don't have the business I want. But yet the things that we're doing, we are subconsciously paving the way for ourselves. We are subconsciously making our future. How cool would it be to be conscious and pave our future with the conscious mind. Now, I'm not saying we're going to win every 4-3 ball game and we're going to get everything we want and achieve every desire and manifest and, achieve this every success. But I bet we'd have a hell of a lot better chance to do that if we treated it with the subconscious mind. Again, rewriting our story, going back, okay, what can I improve on here? What are 5 things I can do? What are 5 things I can do? I can prepare with, for, to, how can I prepare so the next time I get in that situation, maybe to win that game, to make that sale, to land that job, to start that business, to do whatever it is we want to do. What could I do to make that outcome different? But then again, don't concern myself with the outcome. Just prepare in order so I can make that outcome better. So I hope all of this makes sense to you. Thank you for tuning in tonight, and I really feel good about what we went over tonight, because I'm going to apply this to my life, and I invite you to do the same. And thank you for tuning in, and we will have something else recorded very soon. Ciao. Have a great night.